Hi, how are you? This is JilliBling. So what do you think? Does that say fall or what? So today's project is number 4 out of 4 using the new product suite called Petals of Beauty. So I'll show you a few pieces of the suite, and how about the first 3 cards using the same suite. So here's this one, and the videos, the tutorials are available, and I have a listing of all the products to use in the video description. So there's that one. Isn't that pretty? And vellum is back. Then this was the next one. Very different. Look how different it is from all of them. And this is using the metallic rub-ons, and I'm loving those. So there's that one. And for all of them, there's a tutorial available, and it goes through all the steps to make the project. So in the suite is a word set, and I think I have it put away already. And this is Petals of Beauty. I think it's called Words of Beauty. So that, and it's a builder set. So you have this, and it has 3 layers for the dies, and then it has the same font for the inside. So that's the 3rd one. And then today's. Okay, let's get started. So I have this, the papers. Let me show you the papers. The papers are what got this whole, make 4 of them, because I couldn't decide, because I like all the papers. That's the one we're using today. Stripes on the background, today's. Look how nice those go together. But it's beautiful paper. Isn't that pretty? Even those together. That one with the coral. Look how pretty those are. Well, they all work together. Lost Lagoon and Pretty Peacock. That was the first project. But it's beautiful paper. And in the product suite, there's the vellum, 2 bundles, and an embossing folder, and charms. Not charms, gems. Gems, what are they called? Oh, here's that other, Words of Beauty. Here's the rub-ons. This is the embossing folder. If I put it like that, there, now you could see it. It's really delicate, very nice. And then here are, these are in the product suite, Pearls of Beauty. Okay, so today we're going to use some gems. These are retired, but you could use Drucy dots, which are very similar. And here's the papers. And because everything is going to polymer, I'll be using my foam pad often. I just ordered a new one. This one has little holes all over in it from doing pokey in it, which is convenient, but I'm going to get a new one. So let's take this base paper, because we're going to need to do some scoring for folding. Oh, and I didn't mention Petals of Beauty bundle, sentimental framing, just because the words in this set are wonderful. If you want to get a nice word set, take a good look at this one. Today we'll be using From Laughs to Tears, Our Friendship is Full of the Memories I Treasure Most. That's really nice. Nested Essential Dies for the larger of these, for the focal point. Textured notes for the word label. And here is the other half of the Petals of Beauty. This is the dies. So the new packaging. Petals of Beauty, this is a stamp set. Everything will be polymer. Everything is now coming in this packaging. And the dies, and these are all the dies. And I've used most all of them. Today we'll be using this one. Okay, so so to do the scoring, and you know how to write this down, it's in the video description. To do the scoring, this is a 5.5 by 8.5 paper. I'm going to score it at 1 7/8. 3. 5.5. And 6 5/8, but I'm too lazy. I don't want to open the arm, so I'm going to flip it over because the sides are equal, and I'm going to cut this one at 1 7/8. Okay, we are done with that. Okay, so, online exclusives. There's quite a few coming out, and we can order starting November 4th, which is a lot of fun. So it includes all of this suite. Today we'll also be using the earthen foil paper. Is it just plain old earthen? Which is an interesting word. Somehow I like saying it, earthen foil. But it's kind of this bronzy brown espresso type color. We'll be using this paper. A big old pile over there. Okay, so here's the paper that's scored. So it's gonna go this way, that way, this way, that way. Okay, so at this point it's just soft folds, but I'm going to confirm the folds by taking each one, folding it over. I'm looking at how it lines up with the top and the bottom, and it should be just fine, but sometimes, like this one, there's just a little bit of a gap. So before I use my bone folder, I'm going to smush it over a little bit. See, now it's fine here and it's fine there. And why does that happen? I don't know. I'm sure it's human error, but at least this way I can fix it. It's because you don't want a crooked card. Okay, and there it is. I have on my woolly warm teddy bear sweater. It's really big because the arms are tight. Not tight, but they're snug. It doesn't get in the way, but it's really warm. We're done with that. And here are the pieces. So these two pieces are for the focal. I could do that. Little one, big one. And this one, the petal pink designer paper with a little bit of pattern on it, is that piece. And here they are. And you know what, while I'm thinking about it, sometimes when you die cut, if it's a really fancy die cut, the pieces are, they're just a little bit warped. So to fix that, I'm going to put glue. I haven't stamped all morning yet. Baby Warren's taking a nap. I could call him Baby Warren for just a few more days. He's going to be 1 year old. I can't believe it. So then he's going to be a toddler. He's still kind of scooching. He's not toddling, walking yet. Okay, so I'm going to put this on here. Make sure it's centered. And I could see it's already kind of lifting a little bit. And I have a big block. I'm going to put it on top of that, set it off to the side to dry nice and flat. Okay. This is for the words. And here's the die. Sometimes I like to set the die next to it so I know I could get two groups of words from here. I can use Pretty Peacock. From Laughs to Tears. Right there. Then, since I'm on a roll, and sometimes if I don't use these pieces, I just put them in the stamp case. And then later when I go, it's like, oh, I like those words, I want to use them. They're already cut out, which is convenient, which is kind of lazy. But it isn't, because I'm forward thinking. I don't know what's on there. We'll do this one. So here it is, cut out. This too is a little bit warped just because there's so much pattern on the die. But I'll just put lots of dimensionals on. Okay, so that's done. This piece is for this pretty die. Isn't that pretty? I love the foil paper. Okay, so here's that. That's done. Okay, so let's start attaching these panels. Actually, this project is a bit on the easy side. So we have 2 large panels, and then we have, here's a large one, here's a large one. Set those off to the side. Then we have 4 of the more narrow. And the more narrow is for right here, and then also for right here. And you know, on the designer paper, there is a really nice crumb cake border all the way around the edge. And I thought, oh, that's going to make it beautiful, but only one set of cards can have that border. So these do not have the border. And in the end, I do like it with a little bit of the border, but I think that these are going to be just fine too. So we'll get all 4 of those attached. I hear Bo over there snoring or deep breathing. Tony just took off for a bus trip. He's going to be gone from 11 to 11. Now what is it now? 10:30. He has to go and they call it trip the bus. Before a trip, you have to check all these different things. And he has to do that every time he takes a bus out. This is going to be volleyball. And I think he has to drive like 3 hours. Just this past year, they changed the, where, like the regions, where you all, this grouping plays this grouping, and they added in like destinations, they're far away. But maybe there just wasn't enough kids doing sports to play and compete here. I don't know. I'm sure there's reasoning behind it, but I just know that the bus trips, they're really long lately. And Warren is having his birthday party on Saturday. And Saturday is at our local Grange Bingo Bash, which is always a lot of fun. So I'll do Bingo Bash just to stop in, say hello for like a half an hour, and then I have to go to the birthday party. 1-year-old little one. The other day, you know how we do family dinner every Sunday? And we've been putting him in the middle of the table, so he has to hold hands with everyone when we do a prayer. And Michaela and I, we should be concentrating on the prayer. We should be doing good things with our eyes closed, but the 2 of us, our eyes are on the little one just watching what he does. And he looks like, why are you all holding my hand? Why are you all talking in unison? He looks at us like, you guys are crazy. But I say that because when it comes to his birthday and everyone's singing him happy birthday, he's going to be looking at everyone like, here we go again. You're all in unison. How do you all know that song? This is going to go on the back. And I will stamp on the vanilla piece before I attach it to this Cajun Craze layer. Cajun Craze. Okay, so I have to admit, first of all, let me say, I really do love this card. But Cajun Craze and orange and different yellows, they have their purpose, but you probably don't see me using too much of them. It's like, what side is up? I think this side is up, just looking at the shadows and the flowers. It's going to be so covered up that it doesn't matter. But you know, you have to try. I'll do everything the best I can. So Emma is coming and her friend Amanda is coming for the birthday gathering. It's gonna be fun. Okay, which side is up? Because these sprigs are going up, I'm gonna do it this way. So on this card, because there isn't that crumb cake border, like on the sample card, it doesn't matter which one you put in where. Because this one, because it has a crumb cake border, I think that needs to go on the outside edge. It's kind of nice. Okay, so I'm going to put the next one on, but I know that there's two and they're very similar. Like, see how these? I think they're almost exact. So that's going to go on the back. Same with these. Those are on the back. Just because I don't want it to be matchy-matchy. I don't think the pattern is continuous. This one, the green leaf, no. The green leaf is right here, I think. Yeah. A little bit more. I think this one, the time, it's just doing the attaching. Hey, to all of you that don't like coloring and don't like cutting, this project has none of that. It just looks beautiful because of the designer paper. It's so pretty. So what do you think about the new packaging? At first I was like, how's it going to fit into my system? But I just put it in there with the rest and it's so far so good. Okay, so we have that. Let's check on our diamond piece. It looks pretty good. So that's just going to go flat on with glue. It's kind of a shame to be covering all this up. Sometimes that's how it is. We all know it's pretty underneath. So looking at the sample, I know just the very tips are hanging off, so I could put glue all over this. Everywhere. Get it centered. Looking at the top, the bottom, the sides. That looks pretty good. Is it equal? Yeah. Okay, and then the words are going to go on. So putting the words on and the leaf, you're like, wait a minute, your leaf is taller. Some of you already know what I did. I just cut it and I kind of stretched it. So we'll do that here in just a minute. Just because if you put it on here, you're covering up so much of it and it's a beautiful leaf. So to do that, you would just say, oh, just cut it. Yeah, but you kind of had to be strategic about it. So I'm going to put on the word greeting. And notice how I'm putting dimensionals just on the outside edges, which is allowing room for the die cut leaf to tuck underneath. So this is going to go right in the middle. I'm looking at this point, that point. I know they're going to be covered up, but I think that looks pretty centered. Okay, so that's on. Now, when you take the leaf, I want it right about to here, which means I could cut it. Maybe I'll have it up a little bit higher, so I'll cut it right underneath this leaf. I think it just depends on what size die you use for your words. So that can go there, and this can go, it gets tucked in a little bit. That could go right about here. But one thing to keep in mind before you glue it is look at the stem, and you have to keep it somewhat realistic. So to me, that's where I think it should be. And I'll show you a bad example where if you're like, oh, I want it starting way down here, there's a gap. If you put it over like this, ooh, it's got a curve to it. This, I guess you could do the curve, but I want it a little bit more centered. Okay, so I'm going to put glue only on the stem. And that's because I want the leaf tips to be sticking up, so it looks kind of realistic. And this little cut part right up here, I'm going to tuck it underneath the words. And I'm still looking at the stem path. Okay, there it is. And these are sticking up. Okay, then same thing over here. I'll put glue maybe just a little bit up on this top leaf, just because I don't want it to get bent. Might be a little fragile. Okay, once again, tuck it underneath and look at the pattern of the stem. Okay, so there it is. See, it's not hard at all. It's like the front of the card is done besides bling. So I was going to put on, this is some new, what do they call it? Cord? I don't think it's baker's twine. But see how the bow, it doesn't fold real nice. There, you could see it better. And it's a little bit stiff. It's like it's almost waxy like. And so I don't think that it really works. I think that the gold and vanilla, or the gold and white, are similar to the vanilla paper, but I don't think it belongs with this project. Maybe because it's more copper, I don't know. But it was a try. Okay, let's put on the dots. These, you might still have them from last year. They're called Sparkle Gems. And they came in black, silver, and gold. But to me, the gold is almost bordering on copper. So I think they're a good fit. But just plain gold would be nice too. Big ones? I'll try to use up these big ones first, because there's only a few of them. And little ones. So I'll take 2 big ones. I'll put one here. Put one here. Then one little one. Okay, so the front is done. Oh, I'm going to add more dimensionals under the words, because you know how I have them just in the corners. But because there's so much die cut texturing on the little word label, I noticed that the word label is kind of dipping down. Hopefully it's not stuck in the glue. But if I put a dimensional under there, yeah, it's fine. I think it'll be a little happier. Now the question is, can I do it? Probably should have chose a little one. Ooh, I got it. Okay. Same right here. Tall, tall, dip. Okay. So that's done. Now the back side, we need Stampin'. Our friendship is full of the memories I treasure the most. Pretty Peacock. Okay, so this project is primarily the leaf in the embossing, or in the beautiful designer paper. So I was like, what do I put on here? Because when you put this on, I was like, yep, that works. So from the bundle, I picked out a few flowers. Do these flowers really go with this designer paper and the way I kind of have them decorated? Maybe not. And look how I got a little fancy on the bottom. But I think that, like, it's the same colors. Oh, and I tried them in, because this is Cajun Craze. The designer paper, oops. The designer paper says to use Calypso Coral. And I'm like, no, that's kind of like a fun tropical color, and I'm doing more autumn. But using Calypso Coral and Petal Pink, let me see if I can find that. Calypso Coral and Petal Pink is like, oh, that looks not good. Tried it a few times, tried it with just Petal Pink. Finally went back to what they suggest, what all the flowers are, Petal Pink and Calypso Coral rather than Cajun Craze, and it looks better. Okay, so that's what we will do. So I'll start out with, I'm going to start out with the detail stamp. That's this one. Stamp it just a few times. And I'm doing the detail first, just because, yes, it is a darker stamp. And when I put the Petal Pink on this, that's going to fill in the outside. It's a lighter stamp. And if we did it the other way around, if I did the Petal Pink first, it's just hard to see through. To me, I find it easier to see through. Like, see how you could see through the Petal Pink? You could see the Calypso Coral down here better. So for this particular one, I think it just works better. And these little flowers, oh, I got this one. On the detailed stamp and on the Petal Pink, the outline, the bigger flower stamp, there is a little center. So if you're really good, if you try really hard, you can get the centers all lined up. Ooh, that one I did good. But tell you the truth, it's fine if you don't. And then to put the inside in, there's not really a stamp to do that. And I was thinking, oh, I'll put a gem in each one of those. And I thought, oh, that's a little excessive. So I'm going to use my fine point pen, and I'm going to put little dots in there. And then I'm also going to do this border. And I'll show you how to do that. It's nothing fancy. If you practice on your scratch paper, which is like, how would that look if I tried that on there? It's like, oh, it's okay. But once again, I don't know that this card inside looks the same as the designer paper. Actually, I know it doesn't, but I think it's kind of cute. So I'm just doing kind of a big dot, kind of a big dot, a medium dot, and then a whole bunch of little dots around it. Just pretending like they're pollen. Big dot, a little bit smaller, smaller, dot, dot, dot. I'll hold it up for the next one. Dot, 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 doo, doo, doo. That's the one that I got the centers lined up. And this pen, which I use all the time, I'm happy that it's in my regularly used little container here. I got from Amazon. and I use it all the time. Like if you stamp something and the black doesn't come out, the words doesn't come out, this works. And it's called Micron 02 Pigma. Okay, so to do the fancy little border, I'm gonna do like a dash, a dot. I'm gonna have the dot be in each of the corners, kind of to center it. Do a dash, a dot, a squiggle. How about a dash, dot, dot, squiggle, bigger squiggle. I mean, it's just really random. And if you practice on your paper, you might say, wow, I can do that, just because it's supposed to be really random. And I'm going to make sure to end with a dot. There it is. Fancy, fancy. Not really. Okay, so we're going to attach this and then be done. And I'll put pictures on my blog. My blog is JilliBling.com, and there will be a link going right to the blog post that shows the pictures of all 4 of them and all 4 videos. Tutorials, videos, whatever you'd like to call them. Okay, so there it is. So thanks for watching. If you haven't already, hit the like and subscribe button and share too. I appreciate that. Have a great day. Thanks. Bye.